Well, we come to the penultimate event of this second day and of the fifth edition of these World Relays, the women's 4x400 meters relay. The Netherlands go out in lane 9. What a strong squad they've got. They are the European indoor champions from just a few weeks ago in Torun, here in Poland. Germany, the same team in the same order as in qualifying yesterday. Nadina Gunska will take the baton out of the blocks for them. Belgium, third best in qualifying. They go in lane 7. No Bolingo in this squad. She did the first leg for them yesterday in their heats. So Kaukait will be the lead-off athlete for the Belgians. Poland, well, they were the champions, or the winners 2 years ago, beating the USA, and they were the second best in heats, and they do have a very strong squad indeed. Great Britain, likewise, 6th in 2019. No Zoe Clark in this quartet. We've seen a race already, but they do have a strong 4. Cuba, the fastest in qualifying, the same team in the same order. They set a world lead in their heat, 3:27.9. They go in 4. The Italians taking third place 2 years ago, and what a day they're having. The same team as yesterday. They were non-automatic qualifiers though, only third in the first heat yesterday. And France will be in lane 2 on the inside. A totally different quartet from the French. I think their attitude was that the job was done. They've made this final. They've made the Olympic Games in Tokyo by dint of that alone. And so they've changed the squad to give 4 more athletes a run out. But the Dutch, well, with Femke Bol on the third leg, the reigning European indoor champion at just the age of 21 a few weeks ago. She ran the fastest leg in the heats yesterday, Bol, 49.81. She looks fired up for this. I know some pundits think she might go low 49s here today. We'll obviously bring you that information. But this promises to be a beaut, doesn't it, Jenny? The Netherlands against Poland, against Great Britain, against Cuba, the fastest in qualifying. It's really, really nicely balanced.
It is, and the Cubans looked impressive, but I've actually been looking down the start list, and it looks like the Netherlands are really taking this event seriously. They had a great quartet yesterday in the mixed event, but they look like they're actually really focusing on the men's 4x4 and the women's 4x4 as individual events, just gender-specific events, and they've really made sure that their strongest athletes are in both of those quartets. So we've got Bol, we've got De Wit, we've got Clever, and we've got Hondenkamp for the Netherlands team, and I think them and the Cubans will take it all the way to the line. The Cubans were very impressive yesterday, and let's just see what happens. But Femi Bol, she's just been a revelation the last 2 seasons. She's now in the world top 10 all-time over 400-meter hurdles, won that European indoor title, and 49.81 seconds yesterday. Let's hope the Cubans run them really close to the line, and she has to run a low 49 seconds. It'd be great to see.
Well, she was the world #1 400-meter hurdler last year, Femke Bol, and we know she's special. The British squad, Lavia Nielsen, Amma Pipi, Emily Diamond and Jessie Knight. Slight change in the order there. Cubans, well, can they repeat their form of yesterday? Zurian Echevarria will send them off. They set the world lead in the heats. We may well see that improved today, although as I say that, high up here in the stands, the wind has certainly picked up in the last few minutes. I wonder what it's doing down there on the stadium floor. They are pretty sheltered in this wonderful bowl of a stadium, but undoubtedly it will be swirling a little bit. I wonder if it'll be in the favour of the athletes. Well, there's an indication. They're pretty sheltered down at track level, it would seem, at one end, maybe not at the other. Will it be a factor? So in lane 9, the Netherlands, Eva Hovenkamp will lead out their squad. She'll hand over to De Witte, Femke Bol on leg 3, and Lieke Klaver on the final leg for them. Germany go in 8. Gonsko on the opening leg for them. Belgium in 7. Pauline Kaukait on the first leg. Then Poland on the inside. The winners 2 years ago beating the USA. They go in 6. Great Britain in 5. Lavia Nielsen in very good form recently. Watch her, the Britain in 5. Cuba go in 4. Echevarria, the same squad in the same order as were fastest in the heats. Then Italy go in 3. They were third 2 years ago. And France go in lane 2 with a totally different squad. Of course, running on fresh legs, that French quartet. Italy and Poland were third and first 2 years ago, respectively. Great Britain only sixth 2 years ago in Yokohama. But looking at their lineup and the experience in it, one would expect them to go maybe a place or two better than that at least. So the women's 4x400 meters relay, the final event for the women of the weekend. France in 2, Italy 3, Cuba 4, Great Britain 5, Poland 6, Belgium 7, Germany 8, and the Netherlands, watch them on the outside, in lane 9. An extraordinarily long delay again for the athletes there in their blocks, but away they go. And it has ensured, I suppose, to be fair, not one single full start all weekend. Jenny will accuse me of taking a chance for the athletes again, but it's all going very smoothly at the moment. Going well out in lane 7 is Belgium, Pauline Kuykert, who ran 52.1 on the second leg yesterday for Belgium, has had a storm ahead. She's gone past Gonska of Germany, and indeed Hovenkamp for the Netherlands is leaving them with a little bit of work to do from here on. She only ran 53.5 yesterday, Hovenkamp, for the Netherlands, nearest the camera. She's finishing strongly, but look at this, almost side by side, these 5 teams down the home straight in lanes 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9.
Yeah, it's always difficult to tell at this stage who's actually ahead. I'd say it was Poland from Great Britain, from the Netherlands, as all the second leg runners head off. This is Amma Pippi now from Great Britain. She's a really experienced athlete over the last few years. Studied in America. They run a lot of relays over there. And the Polish athlete as well. This is Holub Kolik. She's really experienced, plenty of medals, world, European and Olympic relay medals. She's followed in 3rd place there by the Cuban Almanza, better known over 800 metres. But as it stands, it's Great Britain with Pippi, Poland, Cuba, Germany is still there. On the outside, Italy coming through.
Well, the world lead marker is right up alongside the British athlete Pippi. Brilliant leg from Nielsen to open the British account. Pippi, who ran the first leg yesterday, is going strongly here. Will hand over with a couple of metres lead ahead of the Poles and Cuba in 3rd place. Italy moving into 4th, Germany in 5th, the Netherlands in 6th. They've got a lot of work to do at the moment at the halfway stage. But Great Britain here, well, you might as well be out in front. Let the others chase you. They've got to run wide around the bends, and plenty of experience in those legs of Emily Diamond. She ran the mixed 4x4 yesterday, ran a superb leg, Diamond. 51.86 was her split. Moving well at the moment. The Poles in 2nd, looking dangerous, and the Netherlands beginning to close up in 4th.
This is what we expected, didn't we? Femi Ball, and if you look at the caption just over on the left-hand side of the screen, this is metres that every team are behind the leader, and it still is Great Britain holding on, and here comes the Cuban athlete and Femi Ball all the way to the line as they hand over to the last leg runner. All 3 athletes set off at the same time.
Jessie Knight for Great Britain just holds the inside there. Fabulous closing from Femke Bol there as Emily Diamond just struggled through the last 30 or 40 metres. But Britain lead from the Netherlands. The powerfully built Lieke Klaver, who ran in the mixed 4x4 yesterday with 51.6 on her shoulder. She's dwarfing the little Britain. Going well in 3rd place is still Cuba, nipping at the heels of the leading pair. That's Roxana Gomez for Cuba. She ran 50.9 yesterday on the anchor leg. Can she get past the Brits and the Dutch here? Into the home straight, 100 metres to run. Great Britain leading, there's nothing in it. And look at the Cubans. Roxana Gomez storms away here. Coming through strongly, the Poles too. What a final leg from Natalia Kaczmarek. It's going to be Cuba, Poland and Great Britain take 3rd. And the Dutch came unstuck there down the home straight, finishing in 4th place, out of the rostrum positions. But what a run there. A historic run from Roxana Gomez. I'm dying to see her split. They were fastest in qualifying, and critically fastest today when it matters more. The winners are Cuba. Their time 3:28.41. Not quite as quick as yesterday, but that doesn't matter. Fabulous final leg from Gomez.
It's very hard to watch these scenes and not even get emotional. Herrera, the tears in her eyes there that they've actually took the victory in this one. And Gomez was impressive, not only on that leg, but she's not even breathing. She looks like she could have, you know, carried on for another few meters for sure. She wasn't stretching all the way to that line, and we can see what this means to all the athletes. This will be a significant victory for them on the road to Tokyo and their preparations.
Well, there's a team to look out for. The story will be told in full when we get to see the splits from the various athletes. Femke Bol certainly bringing the Dutch back into contention. Lieke Klaver couldn't quite finish it off for them on that final leg. They were fourth fastest in the heats and fourth today in the final, the Dutch. But Cuba are the winners from Poland, from Great Britain. The French, well, we knew they'd put out a team that was not their absolute best. They finished down in 8th place, just behind Belgium.
I'm just looking at Laos there. She's had a busy weekend, hasn't she? She went in the heat and the final of both the mixed and the 4x4 women's races. I think she's made her way round this track 4 times this weekend. And the Polish always produce the goods, don't they? A lot of the athletes on that Polish team were not the names that we're used to. They're not the household names, but they did great. And of course, Great Britain, they've won medals at every single championship over the last few years.
Well, here's the second changeover. Great Britain in the lead at this point, with Emily Diamond going out on the 3rd leg with a good lead ahead of Poland and the rest. But Diamond there just being passed by Cuba and the Netherlands. And at this point, well, the Netherlands in 2nd place, although certainly Jessie Knight on the final leg, the anchor leg for Great Britain, did really well. Told that inside line. She couldn't resist Gomez, though. They set the world lead in the heats, and that remains the world lead for Cuba. They take the win. They are delighted. $40,000 to be shared between that Cuban quartet for 1st place, $20,000 for 2nd, and $10,000 for the British quartet in 3rd place. Prize money, by the way, goes right down to include 8th place. But you can see what it means to the Cubans. I don't suppose the money's in their minds right now, Jenny. At the end of your career, it's the medals, the titles, the championships you win, and the victories that really matter. And this is a major victory for the Cuban squad. In an Olympic season, everything carries a little bit more significance, doesn't it? It has a sort of golden lining.
It does, and these are the events that you train for, you know, on those cold winter evenings. This is what it's all about. You don't often dream about finishing on the top. You're just concentrating on what it's going to take to get you there. But these are the moments that you have to enjoy in your athletics career. And we can just see great scenes there of the Polish athletes. They just keep producing these athletes year on year on year. And as soon as you see that Poland are in any event, you know that they're going to have a strong squad. And it's great that some of the younger athletes have been embedded into this team this weekend.
Well, Poland were the champions 2 years ago. They settled for 2nd today. They are so consistent with batons in their hand. But Cuba are the winners today in the women's 4x400 meters relay. 3:28.41, winning by 3 or 4 meters after an astonishing final leg from Roxana Gomez to close their account. Poland 2nd, Great Britain in 3rd, and the Netherlands having to settle for 4th. But we can have a look at the split times from the various athletes on the different legs. And Jenny, I know you'll be fascinated by this one. Everybody wanting to see what Gomez ran, for example, for Cuba on that final leg, 50.96. Poland, their final leg athlete, Kaczmarek, 50.59. And for the Dutch, 50.58. Femke Bol on that 3rd leg. That was the quickest of the day.
Yeah, Lavia Nelson there for Great Britain. She was the fastest 1st leg runner. I think they've moved her from her position yesterday, so that seemed to suit them. And it was interesting, wasn't it, putting Femke Bol on 3rd leg. But they needed it, the Dutch team. They needed to get further up. So I think it was the right tactic.
50.58. I think, again, many were expecting her to run around a second quicker, but in these conditions, it's very, very difficult indeed. Great running from the British quartet. Lavia Nielsen delighted with that first leg, I suspect. And what a run it was from Jesse Knight to close with a really quick split to bring the British home for that third spot.